Oh, Daniel hates that.
What, when the moment's gone?
Yeah, it passed you by. It's like,
I fucking
there
hate
goes
that,
your
man. When
comedy
there's like a good
window.
joke and then moves on, you know? And then sometimes I'll
Yeah.
blur out the joke anyways, even after the conversation moved on, even at a work freaking meeting. People would just kind of turn to me. It's like, I had
They're
to
like,
make the joke.
what was that? It's
Yeah.
been holding it in for 2 days.
Holding it in. Sometimes you just got to release the beast, and just hope that the joke still lands. So, on that note, welcome back to Not a Strong Start, a podcast by filmmakers who talk movies, television, and hold it in and let it launch for 2 days just to let it all out. I'm your host, tag team back again.
I'm not your host. Tag, you're it.
And I'm you guys know people don't know this, but
No.
I'm the laser tag world champ. I turned on the team and just got rid of them all and mowed them down. So I was the only survivor. So I could be the only laser tag world champ. Don't mess with me.
Okay, now we know how this would go in a post-apocalyptic world, Jose. She just immediately annihilate us and kill us
Yeah.
and eat our meat.
She's like, oh, you guys go ahead. And as soon as they turn their backs,
Pew, 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 pew. We are God. Kill us right in the back.
Ugh.
Yes. So on this week's episode, we are not talking about laser tag as much as Marie wanted to talk about in this episode. We are talking about some of the best taglines of movies. But first, Marie, what are we going to hit them with?
Third event.
it looks like the Barbie sequel may not be happening. This is the biggest movie of the year, the biggest financial success, because supposedly Margot Robbie isn't interested in doing a Barbie sequel. So they might end up pivoting and focus on a Ken movie instead.
Oh, I haven't seen the Barbie movie. I haven't seen it. I can't really say much except for I'd rather go see a Ken movie. It's as long as it's still Ryan Gosling. I don't know. Does he die in it? What happens? Is it going to be Ryan Gosling? Is there numerous Kens? I don't know.
Uh,
Have you guys seen it? Have either of you seen the Barbie movie?
Are these genuine
yeah.
questions? Or are you just like blurting it out? I don't know. Are you waiting for a
Have you?
response?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it. I waited
I've
to
seen
watch
it.
it when it was streaming. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, on
Oh,
streaming. It makes sense. As Dad's seen it and I've seen it, I it felt by the end of it that her Barbie story is done.
okay.
Yeah.
What?
I respect the fact that she's stepping away from it. I like that because I respect Margot Robbie and I think she's making good movie decisions. And even when she took on this Barbie movie, when you see the final product, it wasn't just a cash grab. It felt like a movie that actually could stand on something and actually had like a message behind it. Having said that, I agree with Jose saying her story kind of ran its course. So I respect the fact that she's not going back for a sequel because then it would feel like a cash grab. So that's interesting. Ryan Gosling, if he's interested in taking up a Ken role, it feels a little bit like a cash grab,
Mm.
but he didn't really get a ton to, his I thought he was gonna be bigger in this movie than what he was. So maybe there's more story to tell with this, and I know he really enjoyed it. I just really hope he doesn't do a sequel, if that makes sense. Now, Alan spinoff, which is played by Michael Cera, give me that. I'll watch that in the comedy.
Like that. The good thing about this world is that since everyone's a Ken and everyone's a Barbie, you literally do not need to bring back the same people. You can go multiple directions and have a completely different cast, and it still fits within the same world.
You could do a horror movie.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, you could set it somewhere else and do like a horror version of this. Like, ooh, that's good. I'm in.
It's Nightmare on Kent Street.
Yes.
Dun. See, we love cheesy jokes around here. That's what makes not a strong start, not a strong start. Cheesy jokes. So, all right, let's get into this main topic. So, taglines. How do you guys feel about taglines in general? You guys like them? Do they do anything for you? Do you guys actively look out for taglines?
Honestly, I don't really see them anymore personally. I remember them being more prominent when I was younger and growing up, and the tagline sometimes will even get said during the trailer. Uh, but yeah, if you ask me of a tagline of a recent movie, I will not be able to tell you. So I feel like the prominence of taglines have kind of died off over time.
I think the purpose of taglines is probably they're not really necessary anymore because I feel like in the 80s and the 90s and all that, you had a tagline which kind of advertised what the movie was about, and it kind of like enticed you and drew you in a little bit. Like, ooh, what do you mean the night he came home? Came home to do what? Like, you just kind of. And now with social media and everything being so easily accessible, you know when a movie's being made, you see it posted everywhere. They're already showing you little clips of what it's about. So the advertising for the movies, it's already out there. So like, what can else can a tagline really say to like entice you to watch it? So I don't really see them anymore. I don't notice them anymore. I had to look up the taglines that you for the movies that you gave me, Jose, because I'm like, these movies had taglines. Like I just, yeah.
I feel like with current social media and stuff, we don't need taglines anymore to help advertise the movie. It feels almost like memes of movies now or
Yeah.
gifs of movies have become the new taglines, right? Like you'll see an image of a movie and they'll incorporate it into jokes or humor. And now we're asking, well, where's this from? You know, where's that clip from? Where's that gif from? That's kind of become the new tagline because it's almost made it sort of irrelevant. But when you look at some of the past movies, you know, some of them are really damn cool. And when I hear it, like the Alien one is one of my
It,
favorite ever.
no, but it makes sense. Kind of adding on to what you guys are both saying is now with technology, with YouTube, with TikTok, with Instagram, with Twitter, access to trailers is very easy. At any point, someone can be like, "Hey, have you watched this?" Within seconds, you can be on the trailer on it.
Yeah.
Well, in the past, you didn't have the easy accessibility to it. Usually, you would see the trailers when you went to the movie theater, and if it happened to be attached to the movie that you were watching. So taglines, they were more important because it was like, okay, maybe the movie you went to watch didn't have a trailer for a certain one, but you walk out of the theater, you look at the poster, there's the tagline. Now that kind of gives you a little something. So I do agree the necessity was more in the past, which is probably why they're not so prominent now. Now technology has gotten us to the point that our access is so easy that we don't need that. We can get more within seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But it is like a cool catchphrase, you know. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you know when somebody says like a like the old sitcoms, someone would have that catchphrase where like it was like and you get like the audience laughing. Taglines kind of felt
Did
like
I
that.
do that? That
Yeah,
one?
exactly. Like that.
Yeah.
But it felt like with taglines sometimes though, when you see some of the older ones, like, man, that is pretty cool. Like when they hit, they can hit, man. It's like that's a
They
pretty
hit.
rad tagline.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
which, speaking of, we're going to
Agreed.
get into it. So, what we're going to do today is I have gathered a long list of taglines, all horror movie taglines.
Mm.
And we're going to try to see how well Dan and Marie can guess what this movie is. Some are going to be very easy, some are going to be a little bit tougher. So, we'll find out.
Okay.
All right. The first one, we're going to start with a real easy one. In space, no one can hear you scream.
That's Alien.
This is one of the ones that um I've definitely heard before. This is one of the
Yeah.
ones that like
Mhm.
stand the test of time. And a lot of people watch horrors have heard this one. Whether they recognize which aliens it's from, they know it's the aliens like universe on that.
Yeah.
It's just so good. But it was like if you guys were to think of one for this one, like what
Oh,
would you do?
For
It's
Alien?
hard to match up to this one. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I created
Oh.
some for Alien Resurrection, but I don't want to use
Oh,
those
well, no,
ones.
not that yet.
mm,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this is one that you can't really mess with it because it's so good.
It's
it's too
perfect.
And
good.
It's
and
perfect.
then I think for like the second one, I probably would have done something like, "Oh, you thought one was bad."
Yeah.
We get
There's
like all these
more.
other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that
That's
one
a good one.
hits, and it's science
Mhm.
based too. They literally can't hear you scream if you're
Yeah.
in space. The sound doesn't travel, so like
Yeah,
there's so many
exactly.
levels to it.
Yeah. And it's so rad. Like that is like the mic drop tagline to me. That one's one of my favorite ever, if not my favorite, is that one. In space, no one can hear you scream. It's like it's so the idea of a tagline is that it's supposed to engage and you're
Yeah.
supposed to be asking questions like, okay,
Mm.
what does that mean? You know, who, what, why am I screaming? You're engaged to want to watch this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nailed
yeah.
it.
What's making you scream?
Well,
All
it's
right.
ominous. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a good one.
Yeah. All right, next one. Who will survive and what will be left of them?
I'm taking a wild guess. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nailed it.
And I just thought about, don't people, I've never even seen the movie. Like, I don't know, do multiple people go
People get
to the country
dismembered.
they
But if I was to just hear the tagline, that's so vague. But again, I guess that's what taglines are, right? Because you even have in space, no one can hear you scream. But that still gives you an idea that you're in space. And then the fact that you know it's screaming, it implies horror. When you hear this, it almost sounds like, and what's left of them, that could almost be a tagline for Mortal Kombat.
People are going to be dying.
Yes,
And then you can tell that people are not going to be whole. So there's possible,
Yeah.
like,
true.
dismemberment.
I think they should have gone something more of like, so grimy you can smell it.
Yes. If you would have told me that, I'd have been like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or what is it? House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, we'll go with another one. This one's also pretty on point. Just when you thought it was safe to go in the water.
Oh, that's Jaws? Is it Jaws?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys know I've never
Us
seen
Yes or
too.
no?
Jaws.
Yeah, that tagline fits though. Like you could tell it has to do with water, so you know it's
Yes.
Yes.
like water-based stuff. And the way they phrase it, just when you thought it was safe to go in the water, is like, okay, something's happened in
Mm,
the water before. It's
yeah,
like they
so
kind of it works on multiple level. It points towards a sequel and it kind of tells you like the
Yes.
setting. I would
makes
have gone
sense.
more of like Fine Ocean Dining or something like that.
Yeah.
But
That you know what? And there's such an art form to the tagline, and it's almost like there should be like one person that's like the tagline guy, like the tagline
Yeah.
king, and they just get hired by all studios to come in and they just like have their little glass of whiskey. They just sit there and they hear the pitch of the movie and then they just pitch it, and it's like je ne sais quoi. Like there it is. Like they get it. There's like an art form to it, and when you get that one, like you said, it couldn't be Jaws 1 because it
Yeah.
says you have to be safe to go back in the water again, like which implies
Yeah.
you weren't
The
before.
second one.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I didn't think about Jaws 2. I forgot all about it.
Yeah, that guy
I wouldn't
comes with a
have.
package deal with the movie trailer guy. He used to always come
That's
together.
what I was just gonna say, Jose. I
It's
was
a
just gonna say that
discount.
this summer. It's like the same
This
guy
summer.
who does the taglines. The same guy. Just when you think it's safe to go back in the water.
They're
I
business
was just gonna say the
partners.
same thing.
Yeah,
If you hire
yeah,
one of them, you get the other one at half off. It's a what is the BOGO deal? Buy one,
yeah.
get one half off.
Now they're both out of work. And remember, the next scream you hear may be your own. This one really doesn't hint towards the movie, but
It
I will tell
doesn't.
you, it is a movie we had to watch for the 100 movie challenge.
Is it the birds?
Yes, the birds.
The next scream would be your own. So what would be the first scream? Just the birds?
And remember, the next scream may be
Doesn't
your
make
own.
sense.
So what's the
I
first
don't know
scream
what
you're hearing? Birds?
maybe they're squawk. But yeah, this one doesn't really seem to fit as well. I don't know what was the thought process between them. Maybe
Okay.
the movie is so old they hadn't mastered yet how to do the taglines. These are like your beta versions of the taglines. Like, oh, I would have gone better with, I don't know, birds of a feather kill together or something like that.
Oh, you thought this through. I was thinking maybe it's a group of people running and you're hearing people screaming, and maybe the next scream will be your own because the birds are going to get you. They're getting all the other people, and maybe they're going to get you.
It would be one thing if it was like crowing or something or cawing or whatever they call it, like something
Mhm.
where the thing's producing the sound. But if it's you, your own self screaming and people are behind you, then it would imply that you're one of the faster ones outside the group versus not, rather than them screaming and then you're screaming and the sound of the monster is what's terrifying. That is what it implies to me, but it's obviously not.
Bird, bird, bird.
I didn't.
Bird is the word.
If you would have just said, if the tagline would have just been, is the word, birds is the word, it's like, oh, that makes sense.
This one's very quick. They won't stay dead.
Dawn of the Dead. Something with zombies. 28 Days
Also,
Later.
one of them,
Day of the Dead.
No
Night of the
Chip.
Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead. Yep, it's
Nice.
from Night of the Living Dead. That one. So that one was just like straight to the point. They were like,
That
Yeah.
one's great.
no flashy stuff. Just hey, they were dead. They're no longer dead, so they won't stay dead.
That's a great
Yes,
tagline.
that
That really gets it. George and Romero, man, you got it. You
Yeah.
got it.
Mhm.
You get the general concept. Although
Mm.
I might have like changed it up a bit, like careful around windows, at least for that last guy. That did not go too
Man,
well for him.
I still feel bad for the guy because it was like the first horror movie ever that had like a African American as a lead, and he still gets
Yeah,
shot by racism and police brutality.
yeah.
Essentially, that's what it is. Poor guy
Yeah,
dies because he's black. They just killed him. They didn't even take a chance, and they didn't even just well, whatever, bury him with the rest. Like,
survived the undead, did not survive racism.
did not survive. Yeah,
Well,
the living.
no, the moral of the story is the humans that are alive are the most scary ones.
They really
They're the
are.
ones that you fear.
This one, I actually, I like this the way this one goes. When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
That's Dawn of the Dead.
Dude, that's so dope. That's poetic.
Yeah,
Isn't it act? Isn't it actually from something? Is that not like in a Bible verse, or is that not, or is that something else? I'm thinking about a different thing,
Maybe that's
but I
why it
know it's
sounds
from Dawn of the
poetic.
Dead.
Maybe that's why it sounds poetic. Like, there's like a old phrasing to the way that one's
Yeah.
written. So
yeah.
maybe there is.
It's like the Night of the Living Dead tagline. Decided I wanted to go work out and it got buff, and then you get the Dawn of the Dead, like a new improved version. The I got dumped, so I made myself better version. That's what this tagline is.
And I love in the remake how is it? It's like a reverend guy in the news saying it, right? And he's like, and
Yes,
then he
yes.
ends with like when there's no room in hell, and it's just saying like this is what happens when you're a bad person and everyone goes to hell. There's gonna be no more room, and then it's gonna be hell on earth, pretty much, you know,
Just
because so
imagine
many
that
more people are gonna be, yeah, because
you go
everyone's so
down
bad.
and then it's like no vacancy. It's like, oh crap,
Yeah,
I gotta go
that's what
back.
it's like.
I think for that one I would have done more something like for all your needs, come to the mall, dead or alive.
there, there you go.
They're here.
Poltergeist, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Poltergeist. And
That's
I think for
tight.
the second one, they didn't have their back. It was the tagline.
Ooh, I don't
Was it
know. I've
really?
never seen that second
Yeah,
one.
I think it
Nice.
was their back for
Yeah.
Poltergeist too. Very simple, to the point.
Yeah. I like that they're here because it's what they actually state in the movie. So even when
Hmm.
you hear it in the movie, and it makes you wonder if they shot the movie maybe, and maybe they came up with the tagline afterwards, you would imagine, or maybe they just knew right away when they were writing it, like this line is gonna hit. Because you even
Yeah.
hear the woman's voice when I see the, when you see the tagline for that movie, I hear the woman's voice in my head.
I think that's what adds to it. It's not just the line itself;
Yeah.
it's how it's said
Hmm.
is what works. And then you're
Yeah.
thinking like, "Ooh, okay, who is they? Are they
Yeah.
invited?
Hmm.
Are they welcome
Yep.
guests? Are they not welcome guests? Like, did they just show up?"
Yeah. It's
No,
the
it
power of it.
sounds.
It's also icky when you know that they used real skeletons for the during when they were filming. So the poor woman,
Yeah.
the actress, is in there fumbling with real corpses because the dead bodies were cheaper to use than the prosthetic, like fake skeletons. Like, in what world are real dead bodies cheaper to use than ones that are fabricated? It's insane.
If they're not acquiring them in good ways, maybe they just dug up a bunch of bodies. Like, hey, this is cheap. Got some graves over
Yeah.
here. Let's
Uh,
go get the. But I
Indian
thought
burial
they didn't
ground.
tell. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what the whole movie. That's what the movie's about, right? They're on the Indian burial ground.
Hmm.
But it's funny, that reminds me when Dan came to come visit, we went to Salem, Massachusetts here to travel
Mm.
around, check the stores. This is not too far from Halloween time. Um, and I guess I like a few weeks later it came out in the news that one of the stores that was there selling replicas and trinkets and things like that had actual human skulls that they were selling. They were not replicas. And they were getting it. They were getting it for some guy who like worked in like a morgue or something, and he was providing them like skulls.
Oh my
Or
God.
it was either the morgue or it was like a school, like lab or something. Someone that had access to human remains.
Jesus. I just read this is very random, but I was just reading a story about this woman that was somewhere in Eastern Europe, came over to travel to like Colombia or something like that. And she had diabetes, and she ended up dying there at that country. And then when they shipped her body back to her homeland, all of her organs, her eyeballs, and everything was missing, and they sold it. Either the cops or the morticians or something sold it on the black market. It's like, oh my god, that's
Oh man, you
miserable.
get 1,700 per eye.
Oh. It's
It's not
black market
17.95
price.
now. Inflation.
Oh yeah, we are in inflation. Ever since the Fed raised the interest rate, I think it did go up. This next one I actually really like too, but it is kind of like sick when you think about it. But man is the warmest place to hide. If I was to redo it, it would be like, how well do you know your coworkers?
The Thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there you go. The
Man
thing.
is the warmest place to hide.
It
That's
sounds
cool, man.
nice.
Yeah, it
I
does sound
like it.
nice. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Aw.
it's really awesome though, because when you know it, when it's attached to the thing, then it's like, oh, then it
Yeah.
makes so much sense. Man is the warmest thing to hide, except when it's in a dog. But yes,
True, true, true.
yeah.
But I feel that the human will still be warmer, right?
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
it predominantly chose humans, right? So yeah, so you know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
It's almost good that it tried the dog. That way, it knows for a fact that
Hmm.
man is warmer.
Yeah. It
The
saw the
Thing,
man.
the
It was
Thing
like,
actually
how,
wrote it.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was like, it saw a man. It was like, I like to try you on for size.
That's why I lived at the end, right?
Ding dong, you're dead.
Is it a house?
Yes, house.
Nice. Ding dong, you're dead. That's great because that
Another
perfectly
perfect one.
matches that movie. And even when you see the movie poster is freaking
Hmm.
awesome, man. I love the art, but ding dong, you're dead because there's a corniness to that tagline, but there's a
Yeah.
corniness to the movie. And when you watch that movie, I love that movie because it's so corny B level, but like in the best of ways to me. And if somebody's not into like sloppy horror, you're not going to be into that movie. But every time I think of House, I always think of the, the bullet rolling off the table. And then he goes, and then the girl, the ex-wife, bends down and then gets up, and all of a sudden it's this fat monster, a dress with the lipstick. Chef's kiss, sloppy
So
horror.
ridiculous.
So I was watching that at like 8 years old, just laughing my ass off.
Because when you hear it, you know, okay, you think house right
Yeah.
away, and you
Yeah.
think there
Ding
is some
dong.
kind of undead involved. So like when I first read it, it made me think of like, the old soldiers showing up at the house, and that's what I thought of. Like, I'm here.
Yeah.
So
And as soon as you answer it, it's almost like the house is calling to you, right? Ding dong, you're dead. I think that's it. Very easy.
It's
that's
rare
what it is.
that something suits the movie so well, but also the movie posters. Like, did they make the movie poster based on the tagline, or did they? I know, like, it makes sense for the movie too, but that poster with it is just really
It
perfect.
goes hand in hand. Ah.
Ooh.
This next one, he'll tear your soul apart. Not to be
Could be so
confused
many.
with "You're tearing me apart."
Pot Lisa.
He'll tear your soul
Now,
apart.
now
That's so.
Marie gets
Shit.
the references.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yay.
Or as I like to call it, leather chains and death.
Ooh.
Oh, Hellraiser.
Yes, Hellraiser. That one works too. Like that works to it because I mean that's basically when they bring you into the realm, they like
Mhm.
own your soul and they're literally tearing you apart and torturing you and doing all that aspect. So it does fit.
No, it does. And especially when you see the images and the torturing methods, you see the skin ripped off the flesh. It's like, ugh. There, you see it literally and metaphorically in the tagline. So
Yeah.
well done.
I
Well
feel
done.
like
Hellraiser, not one of my favorites.
It's not mine either. I feel like it's I think Pinhead is aesthetically one of the coolest looking ones.
I've never seen it, but I do know things about it. And I've seen clips and stuff. I know what you're talking about with like the things in the face and everything, and I know what you're talking about. But I feel like that tagline could be used for so many movies, so many.
Yeah.
To me, like
They
Hellraiser, yeah, it makes sense, but it makes sense for like a lot of movies. It's pretty broad. Like they could have like tightened it up a little bit to be a little more
But
Hellraiser-esque,
that's
maybe.
how the Leatherface, to me, that's like that tagline could be used in so many things. Like it wasn't specific to that movie either. But then again, that's what the whole idea is of taglines, right? It's not made to tell you what the movie's about. It's made to enhance the title or what you've already seen. So you don't just typically hear a tagline of a movie. You typically hear it in conjunction with something else of the movie.
with an image or
Mhm.
something of it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that does, you are right, that does fit a lot of movies. But they got there first. This next one, this one's actually well known. And pretty easy, but sometimes bad is better. Or how I like to call it, Optimus stops for no one.
Is this Pet Cemetery?
Yep.
Optimus
What's
stops for no
Optimus?
one. Yeah, what's Optimus?
What's that?
Oh, I get it. The truck, the 18-wheel that comes in and
Oh,
kills a
oh
kid.
yeah.
Got it.
Oh,
Took me a
that's
second.
oh,
That's
oh.
funny. I'm gonna sit here and
Yeah.
say Jose's taglines are much better than most of these movies.
But for this one, as bad as the movie is, this tagline lives on. It's better than the whole movie itself. And it's a line that's actually used in the movie, even in
Mhm.
the trailer for the newest show that they're doing, Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. It's said in the initial trailer. So like this tagline is synonymous with this movie.
Mhm.
And that's
Yes.
not something you get with a lot of them,
Mm,
where it's completely linked with it. So if you hear the tagline,
mhm.
you think the movie. If you think the movie,
Yes.
you think the tagline. The they're here will probably be the closest thing. Yeah,
Yes.
and I'll give both for this one because the original one, it's not a dead giveaway like some of these other ones are.
Mhm.
So the
Mm.
original is he's in town for a few days to kill, or how I would call it, he's not too old for this fight.
Predator? Predator, Predator 2?
Predator Part Two
Oh wow.
Yes.
Ooh.
with Danny
Because
Glover.
Danny Glover's too old for this shit. That's what ended up getting it for me. I was like, you know what? Okay, okay. So that's fine. I like Jose's tagline way better for this one.
But
Okay.
that's the thing, it's
So
very, very vague.
yeah, that could be almost that could have been Demon Knight that we just watched. He's in town for a few days to kill.
Yeah.
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 And I don't, if maybe I would think more because Predator's an alien, I would think more it's in town for a few days to kill. That would make me think of an alien more than he is in town because
That is true.
He has
this person
balls.
was drunk.
He has
This
balls, man.
person was, what is it again?
Have you seen Predator 2? They show his testicles in the
I've,
movie.
I think I remember.
She doesn't know if I'm lying or not. I'm lying on that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
no, it's a he, Marie. If you see Predator's balls. No, I've seen like parts of it. I remember parts in like an apartment building, and there's this. I don't think I've seen the entire thing. I was really banned from watching Predator when I was a kid. Like really,
Why?
my mom was like, I don't.
Predator was
I
the
was a
movie that she
shell.
drew the line on?
Oh man, I remember like it was on TV. My brother and I and we're like, let's watch Predator, and we snuck in the basement to watch it. And she didn't even want me to watch the movie Ghost because the demons in it. I was sheltered, little Catholic girl. You guys, is why I haven't seen any movies. You want to blame someone? Blame my mom.
was it the
Never. I would never
scalping?
blame her.
Did the scalping do it? Was that too much? The
I don't know
the
what it
the
was, man.
the
You,
skeleton trophies? Uh,
You know why?
I have no idea.
Here's why your mom was doing a good job at this is because she was letting you know you can't watch these movies, which means you should have been making a list of all the movies that you needed to watch. So she's actually
Ah,
giving you a hint of all the movies you needed to
yeah.
watch. Something that me and Jose absolutely did when our moms were trying to tell us not to watch these movies. I knew exactly the first ones I was going to watch when I was sleeping over at a friend's house. Come on, Marie, you got to
If
get
you were
with it.
allowed, you were allowed to watch all the movies, so you don't know.
That's true.
Your mom
My
was
mom
so
was
super
encouraging it.
cool.
My mom was actually encouraging it. Hey, Mijo, you need to watch this one. Huh? Keep me up to watch it. Whoa, that's cool. Now there's a sequel. I was like, damn, okay.
No, my mom
I,
still doesn't like that I watch horror movies. Like she's still mad. I went into her work today with my Ouija board sweater, and she's like, "Take that shirt off, Marie." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I got it from Target." Like, are you
you're
serious?
like,
Does she stand
you
like
don't
that
want
when
to
she
play,
does it?
Mom? You don't want to play?
Yeah.
It's kind of awkward. It's on my chest, but okay.
This
Yeah.
next one, the movie is not as popular as the other one, so it might be a little bit harder. Uh, every rose has its thorns.
That's just the next lyrics of a song.
Yeah.
Every road. Okay.
Or the more explanatory way that I would say is a vag that eats back.
Is that teeth?
A vag that eats back?
He
Teeth?
Teeth.
Okay.
said the
I'm
vag that eats back.
Yeah. That one I've seen. I've seen that one.
See, they need to show the movie Teeth in sex ed class.
Yes.
That'll teach us not to be having a coitus before marriage.
Same with It
Scare
Follows.
them.
Same thing.
Scare them. That and It Follows should be a double feature.
Like I get the every rose has its thorns once you know what the movie is,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
because
like
it
it.
is referred to as
Yeah.
a rose, and then you have the thorns. But on its own, with no image, no context, it can be anything. This next one, I think you guys will get just straight off of the regular tagline, but even nice people can go to hell.
Oh, that's a
Or,
good
as I would like
one.
to call it, never come between an old woman and her home.
Oh, Drag Me to Hell or no?
Yes, drag
Is
me
it
to hell.
Drag Me to Hell?
Oh,
Oh, that I get it now. That makes
yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Oh, I'm
Everyone's gonna go
I'm
to hell.
still so sad that she dies at the end.
The
I
title's
love that
there.
movie. Oh my God.
I know I do too. The eyeball in the mouth, man. The eyeball in the mouth.
The
Love it.
sucking on the
Oh,
Sam
chin.
Raimi.
The sucking on the chin. Oh, that
oh,
Sucking
that
sucking
was
and
in.
so
the puking of the stuff, like the bugs in her mouth. Oh man, I love Sam Raimi.
that
Yes, it is.
movie's underrated. That movie's
I
underrated.
love
It
it.
really
I
is,
love that
man. It's
movie.
great. I feel like that was one of Sam Raimi's like best. You know what I mean? Like that's one of his best,
Yeah.
man. That's good. It deserves a
Yeah.
lot more attention.
Justin Long's so good in it too.
Jose, I have a quick one for you. What's the tagline? The best barbecue in San Fernando Valley.
Oh, that's easy. It's that feature film, Pete's Meats.
There you go. Which is the sponsor for this episode. It's a pop-up barbecue. We can get pork belly. You can get tri-tip. Go on Pete's Meats, SFV.com. Holla.
Because when you have Pete's Meats, no one can hear you scream.
But they'll hear you take a shit.
I was gonna say I'm all the way in Canada and I see Pete's Meats on Instagram and I'm like, I want to go there just to get some Pete's Meats. It looks so good.
From the
Yeah.
from the already created ones, it doesn't think, it doesn't feel, it doesn't give up. Or, as I would call it, herpes shouldn't be your only worry.
It follows.
It
Yep.
follows.
It follows. Herpes
There
shouldn't
you
be
go.
your only worry. I like that. It
Yeah,
never gives
that one
up.
should be shown. That
I
one
like
should be
that one.
shown. In
I like
sex ed
Jose's
class.
more. I like Jose's more. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. I feel like you had at least a 90% win rate on those. At least.
Yeah.
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 Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
Well, now
I mean-
everyone gets to dabble on the tagline creation now that we got through those.
Yes.
For those listening and watching, each of us got assigned 2 movies, and we had to come up with our own taglines for these movies. So let's start with our guest, Marie, Laser Tag World Champion. Do
Mhm.
one of your movies.
One of my movies. Okay, so you gave me Hereditary, and the real tag, I'm gonna tell you the real ones first. The real taglines for Hereditary are Every family tree hides a secret.
It's good.
It's pretty
Okay,
good.
that's good. Yeah,
And the
I like that.
other one is Evil Runs in the Family. Also good. It's also a
That's
good
good.
one.
Yeah.
I I made like some serious ones and then I made a goofy one for each one. Just because I wanted to do some funny ones.
Let him out.
So, okay, so the one I thought of, like a serious one, is not everything that you inherit is a gift,
Ooh.
because it says evil runs in the family. It's like their family isn't evil. The grandma was evil. And she's passing on this
What he
curse
did.
basically to her family. I made another one in my mind that I picked for this, and it's motherhood is the ultimate sacrifice. Because the grandma sacrifices her whole freaking family to get this payment into the world.
Why, Nana? Why?
Why?
Why, Nana?
Why? Why you do this to me? And then my funny one was well, funny by Marie Standards is family drama that'll make heads roll.
Oh, yes.
That's a straight comedy.
Okay.
Right?
I like that. I like that.
I
Well
like the
done.
first one. I like the first one more. First
Yeah.
one was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It's my favorite too.
First one I'll do is Alien Resurrection. which is the fourth one. So theirs is the beginning has just started. We are not alone. Witness the resurrection. Pray you die first. Seems like a pretty long tagline, but that's what they have.
It's a long one.
Yeah, exactly. So I came up with two of them. So you guys tell me which one you guys like more. The first one, the revival of the ultimate killing machine. The second one, we've explored so they can feast.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
That was a no shit one.
I like that
was
second
good.
one.
Second
That
one.
almost makes me want to watch the movie.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
Love it.
I like the killing machine one. That's really good. But then it also my
revival.
brain automatically goes to like a robot or something. That's like the
Ultimate
first place my
killing
mind
machine.
goes. Just
It could be
this
Terminator, or it
mentally,
could be Jaws, something like that.
that's
So like,
what
I get it.
Yeah. But it was still good. But the oh shit, that second one, oof.
For my first one, I had Nightmare on Elm Street. And the original one for this was she is the only one who can stop it. If she fails, no one survives.
That's the original one?
Yep.
Okay. Also a little bit long, but okay.
Yeah.
I went a little simple. Some dreams are permanent.
Oh. Well,
I like
yeah.
that. I like that.
Yeah, that's
like
scary
that one.
sometimes.
That one's better than the other one.
Yes, it is better than the other one. It's better
Yeah.
than the OG one.
Because the first one, I'm like, it doesn't. Yeah, because the other one was the original one you said, right? The long one.
Yeah.
I think it was that, and then there was because I kept seeing two different things.
Yeah, I keep seeing two for some of these.
Yeah, the other one was if Nancy doesn't wake up screaming, she won't wake up at all.
That one's
I like-
better than the other one, I think.
Yeah, I agree, but I like Jose's better.
Yeah, yours is to the point. I like it. Oh, my second one was Paranormal Activity. And the original one is What Happens When You Sleep. And to me, I'm like, that's a really bad tagline for this movie because a lot of stuff happens when they're not sleeping. Like a lot of the stuff is happening
I would
like
fit
during the
Nightmare
day.
on Elm Street better.
It could be break-ins, like
Exactly,
robbery.
right?
Yeah, breaking and entering.
Yeah. So I thought of like a really quick like one, and it's if you seek evil, you'll find it. And that just made me think of like the boyfriend constantly going to like tempt, like he's like enticing basically the demon to like come out and stuff. It's like, well, if you want it, you're gonna get it, and he does. And then the other one I thought of is when you invite evil in, it might overstay its welcome.
I
like
like the
that
second
one.
one more.
Because it's in the house. The whole thing takes place in the house.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then my funny one, because if people don't know this, it's a couple in a house and there's a demon in the house. And the demon is basically interfere with the relationship in a sense, right? Because he's all wanting to get the demon there. And she's like, don't do it, Micah. And then, or Mika, whatever. And then I said, when the third wheel gets possessive. It's quite funny.
That's funny. That's funny.
Okay.
He possesses her.
Yeah.
She also gets possessed in the end, spoiler alert, by the demon.
I like how you gave the spoiler alert first before you said spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realized that maybe there's people haven't seen it.
I'm kidding. Yeah, good.
All right. Dan, what's your second one?
Good. All right. So it was The Shining. So I saw two different taglines for this one as well. I saw the masterpiece of modern horror, which I don't know if that's the original one. This other one says, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. The horror is driving him
that
crazy.
one before.
That's the one I heard. The horror is driving him crazy. So I had two again. You guys tell me which one you guys like more. Checking into the Hotel of Horrors or the Hotel of Hell has no checkouts.
I like the second one.
That one second. It's a second. It's we like the second ones.
Well, what's funny is that I only did the first one for each of them. And then like maybe a little bit before we did it, I was like, and as I kind of thought, that's when the second ones popped into place. The more I kind of thought about them, that's why I was like, that's why I had two options. But
yeah,
yep,
me too. Me too. You need that. You need to.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
ooh. I want to watch it now.
For my second one, I had Evil Dead, and the original was
the original, or are you doing the remake 2013?
The original Evil Dead.
Okay.
And the original, one of the original taglines was, "They got up on the wrong side of the grave."
Comedy, got it.
Yeah. I went more serious with it.
Okay.
It was just some books are better left unread.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
That's it.
Makes it because right there, I'm like, well, what book? What happens when you read the book? And when they find the book in the movie, you're like, no, put the book away. The tagline already said.
We
And it fits pretty
reference
much
Warned
all
us.
of them.
we reference the tagline king, but I feel like it's Jose at this point, doesn't it? He needs to make this a full-time career. You are the tagline king.
I've been working my whole life for this.
I was just waiting for recognition. You thought we were starting a podcast talking about movies? The entire time it was just set up Jose for his career.
I failed so many English tests because I will only write taglines instead of essays.
Your biographies
always
was all just
been.
taglines.
We asked you for a 5-page essay. Well, I did it in a tagline.
5 pages, but in one sentence. Thank you for watching another episode of Not a Strong Start. Please like, subscribe, comment, share on our YouTube channel, Not a Strong Start. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to your podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Where, Jose? Where can they follow us at?
Everywhere, bro.
Exactly. At Not a Strong Start. You can follow me. I am tag team back again at King_Sangre.
And I am me. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. The tagline king.
Yes.
And I am the warmest place to hide. And you can find me at This Is Me Nombre on Instagram.
I can speak from experience. That is absolutely correct.
Oh. And I'm the laser tag world champ. Spoiler alert, I've never played laser tag in my life. And you can follow me at Marie Plays Off.
I thought you were going to say you just played against a bunch of 3-year-olds, but all right. It's even worse. You didn't even play
Killed
against
them,
3-year-olds.
slaughtered them.
Like
I
Anakin.
murdered them though.
Where to go? Where should I go? You're going straight to hell.
There's no more room in hell. Okay, last question before we send this off to our listeners, okay? What will be the tagline for the Nas Show?
We may not know what we're doing, but damn, we're good at it.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
Sign
That's
us
it.
off. We have peaked. Our show will not do any better episodes after this one. We peaked.
No. Welcome to our goodbye episode.
Goodbye. Good afternoon.
Farewell.
Good evening
Farewell.
and good night.